Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to everyone around the world. My name is Mughal. I'm here with Telethar. We're here to bring you game number one of week one in the ALTTPR League between the Last Locationeers and Farm Friends. This will be a co-op, all dungeons. The Last Locationeers on the left and the Farm Friends on the right. Telethar, how are you today?
I'm good. Should be fun. How are you doing?
I'm also doing well. Yeah, this should be fun. We've got a couple of old school open leaguers here on display. Last Locationers getting promoted a couple years ago, and Farm Friends newly promoted into the Invitational League. So this should be a fun one.
I can't help but wonder if WindFox is a big huffer given his pause screen here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I actually don't know who on the screen can hover, but I would imagine that WindFox is pretty decent at it, given that they're already two pits over on that pause screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Mike hovers. He had a big hover, like learning to hover thing over the summer. So
There we go.
I'm pretty sure Brave does not. I don't know about tabbycat, and I guess WindFox probably does. Maybe we'll see some routing based on that. Who we're gonna send up to Dark Death Mountain.
So, as a former league champion, actually the defending league champion, how would you attack this mode?
Poorly. It's hard to say. I've done a number of practice seeds, and I've literally last located go mode in every single one. It's been pretty impressive.
It's funny. I kind of feel the same way. Although, yeah, my match yesterday didn't quite go that way. We lucked out, but yeah, typically I feel like you're last locating at some point, and you prefer for it to be early rather than late.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does kind of feel that way in these co-ops when I don't know. I feel like on Restream I've seen a ton of pretty garbage seeds. We're popping up with the screens here.
Yeah, and
we're almost 2
very
minutes in.
mid into it.
Yeah.
So we're already seeing some divergence.
Yeah. I like this mic already at Saha, less than 2 minutes in. Hopefully this is an Eastern dip that I can, get behind.
And an early pearl in a bottle, and we're out of here.
Oh, we're not continuing. That's disappointing.
Brave apparently has... Oh, Brave, you got to
move to the left.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh.
All right. Well, hopefully when she watches this back, she'll know what to do.
Yeah, if the windmill is on screen, like windmill, whatever it's called, is on screen, the fly might go there, and so you just gotta despawn it by getting it off the screen.
And WindFox making the early, I'm guessing this is going to be a Gina play with those 3 bombs.
We'll hopefully get some cropping happening and all that, so this will be a little less...
Listen, rupees and bombs and arrows don't matter for the top guys. Ooh. Nice boots there for WindFox. That'll make that Agina play slightly better.
Yeah, I like the Agina play here. Damn Agina before you really mess with going to Mini Moldorm Cave and Ice Rod Cave and all that.
Yeah, with 3 bombs, it's interesting. It's like maybe you're hoping to get a weapon, maybe from the dam, or some more bombs or something. Like I could see WindFox making that Saha play now, just because you can go buy bombs on the way.
Oh.
So do you like the attack Kakariko from the top and bottom at the same time play?
I'm a big fan of it, but I think it's fine. You're probably going to need to go to Kakariko for both players, so it's not terrible. The thing you're risking is maybe boots, but more realistically, the thing you're risking is that like flute is out there, and you're sort of signing yourselves up to 4 trips to Kakariko instead of 3.
Right.
Because like the way I like to think about co-op, so this has been a thing I've been ranting about a bit. So, but basically,
ranting coming.
At one point in time, we decided that we were going to say that your time in co-op is your average, and it turns out that if you add 2 times up and then divide by 2 and compare with another people who you've divided by 2, you've actually just added your time up. The divide by 2 part is not meaningful, so like all the time you're spending is still the exact same time, and it still is just as like bad as it is in a normal rando. Just because it's co-op doesn't change anything. So like it is still.
I agree to a point. I think it depends on the level of difference between the 2 runners in terms of how far along they are in the scene.
What do you mean?
Well, the sooner you find Go mode collectively, the less you have to clear as a whole, right? So when you have one person who's, let's say, doing, I don't know, let's say all of Village, Smith Chain, down to Swamp Palace, full clearing Swamp, and they happen to be, ahead in dungeons, and the other person just kind of clearing dungeons, it can just like lead to getting Go mode so much later. Whereas if you guys had done a better job early on of making sure that you were even, it's possible you get that Go mode earlier and you're not having to full clear Swamp, for example, or things like that. I don't know. It's hard to really explain, but I agree unless there's a real divergence between the 2 runners on the same team.
Yeah.
It has to be meaningful though, north of 5 minutes.
So I agree with what you're saying. I disagree with the conclusion that you drew from it. Which is interesting. I agree that like you don't want one person doing a bunch of really slow checks, but like it's not a problem to have one person be 5 minutes behind, 10 minutes behind. Like if one person just was doing all the slow checks and finding the items, that would be fine. You just don't want to do the inefficient things, because you still should be routing this in a similar way that you'd route, a normal open seed.
I agree with that too. And by the way, we've seen a flute. The flute has been activated.
Yeah, we have flute, boots, hammer, moon.
This
pearl,
is going to be a
shot.
fast one, hopefully. It's got Telethar's name written all over it, to be honest.
I love the early boots. Yeah, we'll see how these teams decide to, like, they're basically free to go wherever they want with this flute boots combo. Like, so we'll see once things sort of settle down where we start deciding to choose our divergence.
Yeah. This is interesting. WindFox ended up doing Waterfall back down to Hobo. I did notice there was a 300 in the tavern that I don't think Scottish picked up. So you got Scottish now doing Ice Rod Cave, and I think could have finished at Zora.
Scottish did pick up the 300.
Did she?
Yeah.
She was at 300 going into Lion's Hut. Did she get that early or something? Maybe I missed her doing Tavern before. Oh, she did do Tavern before because of the whole bee fiasco. That's right. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Oh, there's another one. So Mike can do it now. But yeah, with that bow, she's going to head over to Eastern, which is the right play, especially given the fact she can get that pearl.
Yeah, I like this play. Assuming you're comfortable with 3-heart Dark Eastern. But yeah, I think that the runners here are, but it is a little spooky still.
Yeah, for sure. She does have Burna with the full magic bar, so if things get really scary in there, hopefully she remembers.
Getting bullied by rocks. flippers on Floating Island too.
We're just doing some cleanup on the farm friend side with WindFox. I would imagine he'll be headed over to the eastern area pretty soon. Mike checking that mushroom early.
Did Mike skip Hera?
Yeah, he did.
Interesting play.
Especially given you have a hookshot.
Yeah, hookshot hammer.
So did he not check
I don't think he,
because there was a glove there.
Yeah, that glove is big. That's
yeah,
gonna
be.
That's gonna let Team WindFox, tabbycat, Team Farm Friends into the dark world here. So like, just it increases their ability to split up and do good stuff. That's both that like is pushing towards their final goal without stepping on each other's toes.
Yeah, definitely.
That's like the biggest issue with last locating ever in co-op is that you get funneled together and you step on each other's toes.
Right.
Whereas like in a normal seed, you just don't want to last locate your go mode. Like everything else is more or less fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter that you were late to the 15th item as long as the 20th item that you actually need to get is, you still have checks remaining.
Yep.
But in co-op, you can often get funneled together and not be efficient because of that.
So WindFox is going to get this pearl. Go to the mountain, get the glove. Tell tabbycat about the pearl. Do you think tabbycat continues on to Eastern? I personally feel like I would probably flute away, start doing some Dark World stuff separately.
You think you don't do Eastern?
I think I would actually possibly do pod first. Knowing like if I can do the dark rooms, right? I would consider doing pod, hoping to get a mirror maybe. It's not much of a difference, I guess, but
so would you have
like,
done
Village is like screaming at me too. So
would you have done
know.
Eastern as WindFox, or you're saying neither? Or sorry, would you have done Eastern as WindFox, or are you saying neither of them would do?
I would say Eastern? I would have left Eastern to tabbycat more than likely.
Okay, and you're gone to go do something.
Yeah, I would probably have gone to the Village personally, like start opening as many checks as possible. I think it's right for tabbycat to be in Hera, and then probably. Like, Tabby, you've got the medallion. Go do pod Eastern. I'm gonna start doing other stuff.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, right now pod Eastern is not a pair.
Right, exactly. So that's why it's like I'd be pushing it off a little bit longer, hoping to maybe get a mirror or something.
Yeah, I think that with the glove in hand and the flute, it's probably okay to just leave and go. Yeah, go do it later. Like Eastern is probably just as fast to get to it from Flute 5 it is from Saha with the glove.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Brave does a nice Eastern cleanup on 3 hearts.
Yep. Mike found the bombos. Abby's gonna get that. Second. I haven't been counting. Have we gotten both items in Hera?
I think no.
Like you have a hammer.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not ideal.
Abby correctly pulling out the hammer.
Oh my, okay. Yeah, Tabby arrived significantly later and had a significantly faster fight.
Yeah.
Turns out that the hammer is better. That's our last medallion. Okay.
That was fast.
So we've now found both items in Era. It is 2 medallions. WindFox got half magic somewhere too. Oh, and the old man had the ice rod, so we're not looking for anything.
Ooh, Brave is floating away. Mike is about to see this glove. Is he going to hover to it?
Yes, he will not.
Oh, he says no.
I'm so sad.
I thought you said he could hover. What happened? Through a whole boot camp and everything.
I don't know. He's going to hover pod arena ledge, and he's not going to hover that. It's honestly just offensive.
Brave fluting right back.
Yeah.
WindFox getting through that dark room A-okay. So they will have their first crystal here shortly.
So Mike's starting.
Actually, second.
Mike is changing his mind. He doesn't have bombs for Hype Cave. That explains that. This is a crazy seed. These are one of the hard seeds to like route as a team. Like you just constantly flustered trying to figure out where, like, because no one's stopping and going and doing a dungeon. And you're like,
right. Yeah, they were. It was pretty much last location outside of a. Oh no, they haven't done South Shore, did they? Never mind. Did they?
Brave did South Shore, I think.
Okay. I guess what, Agina's was the only thing left in Logic at that point?
Mike did Agina.
Okay. So, yeah, last locating that.
I think Zora, but that wasn't in Logic.
Not in Logic yet.
Flippers.
Alright, so everyone's splitting up now. We got tabbycat going to pod.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Dark Pod, it sucks, but with medallions, it's not the worst thing. The Dark Turtle room is definitely doable with the medallions.
What do you think about this play from Mike's side? Basically, the question of going from starting at Hype Cave and then going to pod, or just going straight into pod?
I think doing Hype Cave to pod is fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like it better just because you're hoping for like that lamp to make your life easier and safer.
Yeah, and the odds of you skipping something like Hype Cave is very, very minimal. So it allows you to get the 5 quick items, and you're not losing a ton of time by running over there versus fluting. I think it definitely makes sense to do.
Is bow locked? Not that that really means anything to us. Where did Brave get sword from?
That may have been the back of Escape. I think WindFox is going there now. I think they're between the two teams. They're pretty even checks at this point. Oh, they're saying shovel.
No, shovel was a heart.
Okay. Well, the shovel was in the back of Escape. Right. That makes more sense now. I forgot how hard it is to keep track of 4 screens.
It's brutal.
Big thanks to our trackers, Nojibano and Pixcalibur, for helping to keep us honest, and Twitch chat as well. It's hard to keep track, yeah. So I guess WindFox is about to get heart number 5. Yeah, Brave doing Thieves Town. I like this play. I guess it's question now of does she go up to Skull Woods after or south? Given that Mike just did Hype Cave north, you kind of isolate Stumpy and Dig Game at that point.
They don't have the big key yet in pod, right? They can't do, they can't hammer yum for their, to like have a reasonable route. They're just gonna have to death warp out. Yeah.
It's not Tabby get it. Yeah.
Or Dark
WindFox and Escape, by the way. This is interesting.
Yeah. So they have Thief Sound, but it a little bit sucks just not having Mitts, not having Fire Rod, not having the mirror. You kind of don't want to be in Village just yet. So
yeah,
it's a little risky in the sense that this is clearly a Jet Seed. Mike pulls the Fire Rod.
Yeah.
Like, they're not looking for that many more things, and the things they're looking for are pretty... lock a lot of items. Right? It's like not like you have a medallion out there that you need to find, or an Ice Rod. It's...
yeah.
What are they missing now? Mitts? Some Aria Mirror for Go mode?
I think so, yeah. You said the flippers were on the island.
Yeah.
So, yeah, with all three medallions, that's all we're missing at this point.
Okay, does work.
I mean, the nice thing is we saw the Fire Rod on Tabbycat side, so WindFox knows that it's over there. It's like you don't want to take the long way over to the Thieves Skull Woods area without that Fire Rod. But I can see him kind of doing a Mike route to go get that.
It's a big map check.
So I guess if you're brave, you're going south now, right?
There's
no reason to go to Skull Woods without it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaving the Skull Woods to Mike. So you might as well go south and get the Dig Game Stumpy, I guess. It's a little awkward just because, like, those two checks kind of suck.
Yeah.
As they're, like, as an isolated little one-off, but you certainly don't want to do anything else, I think. It does seem like we're getting funneled a little bit. We'll probably pull Mitts or Mirror out of, I guess probably Mitts out of Skull Woods.
Yeah, what's up? We got Pyramid Catfish.
In Skull Woods?
Outside of Skull Woods. Like,
yeah,
that's all
Pyramid
we got, right?
Catfish and Skull Woods,
Okay.
yeah. And I'm not even entirely sure. Is that Fire Rod actually in Logic? Yes, it should be. There's only one key in the Dark Maze, or Dark Basement, so... with one key being lamp locked.
And there's Lamp.
And there's lamp. Okay. Now it's definitely in Logic.
Yeah. So this is the one problem with doing Escape. Like, you could have comboed that with Aga. And I always find, like, the whole Pyramid Aga or Pyramid Escape into Catfish stuff so... like, there are very specific times when I feel like it should be done in co-op, and every other time you don't know if you should be doing it. Because it takes like a little while, and I don't know. It's...
yeah.
it just never feels good.
Oh, Mike needs to be careful.
Yeah. Okay.
Just chug that goo. We are not dying, and that's what matters here. Yeah, I actually kind of like the Aga play here, because it does feel like you're getting funneled, and like this is your opportunity to unfunnel your team, right? Is
Yes.
hey,
That I agree. It's a good
have
time
fun,
right
go do
now.
AGA.
Yeah. Because it allows you to get those couple checks afterwards while the other person can do some cleanup. Or catching up, I guess you could say.
Interesting from tabbycat to not just go get their sword before heading to Eastern. Or... oh, we're turning in green pendant first, that makes sense. A little bit awkward on both teams. So Brave is going to pod now because of what our 5-6 is. Like, it's fully in logic right now. Pyramid Fairy is.
Yeah.
You're sort of looking at that, but like, unfortunately, the Fire Rod is in the hands of the people who did not beat Eastern.
Right.
So, not really something that they could have planned around. It's, you know, the Fire Rod showed up where it showed up.
Yeah, especially late in pod too. The other person was definitely way, for much further along in their dungeons or the progression that they were looking for.
Where's WindFox going after Thieves? Are you doing the front of Goal? Or are you just quitting out and going and doing pod? Or Daga?
I would guess you're just quitting out and doing pod. I wouldn't understand hopping into Skullwoods at this point, knowing that the Fire Rod is where it is. And if you get funneled to Catfish or something, you just do it after Skullwoods. Like, you don't do that now into pod. It just would take way too long to run over there. Because outside of Skullwoods, that's all they have left, right?
I think so. It is worth mentioning that I'm fairly certain the progression in Skullwoods is generally on the in the front, because our randomizer is not very random. So I don't think it'd be a terrible play for WindFox. Just take a trip over. Like, you're already in the Dark World here. You have very little left. I think you've already cleared out the south stuff. I would go do the front of Skull. But it does feel not great. Definitely the case.
Yeah, with the hook, you can get the hook speed to get over there a little bit faster too.
Yeah. So what's our current state of the world here? Last locationers are working on their 5 and 6 dungeon. Whereas Farm Friends are working on just got their 4 and are working on 5 right now. Get 5. They've done a little bit more of the overworld.
Yes.
Found a lamp for their troubles, but nothing. I guess Brave did go south and get that lamp as well, so. seems like we're getting funneled, and right now, last locationers are a little ahead. But, like, very much.
It's very close. Yeah,
very
you
much
just look
little.
at the... yeah, because Tabby could be fluting to the 3 right now, and it's going to look the same. Where is WindFox going? Is this Spike Cave?
I like the Spike
Yeah, it
Cave
must
play.
be, yeah.
It's a pretty good play, actually. I'm a big fan. You have everything to put it in logic.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about it before. It's like whatever you can do to try to diversify what you guys are doing is best.
Yeah.
I would hope that he heads over to do Aga soon, because it's going to take Tabby a little bit to clear out Skullwood's turn in the big bomb. Unless she finds like Mitts right here,
Ooh,
which is
there you go.
Okay.
That's big.
Yes.
We'll see how long it takes last locationers to get that.
I think it depends if the Mitts are behind that mirror or not.
Yeah, they definitely don't know it yet, but they're hoping that mirror locks the Mitts so that they get funneled into that sooner rather than later. Because they're getting funneled together right now. They're operating as though this is where their progression lives, and
Right.
If they find something, they're gonna operate as though they're gonna follow that, right? So. I guarantee that after Moth goes down, Mike's gonna go check that magic bat powder unless something else shows up.
You think he would do bat before Pyramid?
Yeah, with the flute, for sure.
Where are we going? This is a Graveyard Ledge play
This
by WindFox?
I think it's Pyramid Graveyard Ledge. Pyramid Graveyard Ledge Catfish, and Zora get the whole family of garbage.
Ooh.
Is that a Samara?
Not helpful yet, but...
No, but... they're gonna have that for Ice, they're gonna have that for Meyer, whereas last locationers may or may not. Again, they're kind of...
Well, they're gonna do Pyramid Fairy, right? So they'll get that very shortly.
Yeah, that's fair.
But again, they're getting funneled, right? So...
Yeah.
So Skullwoods wasn't the answer in terms of the dungeon items, but we'll see if it's the Pyramid Fairy play that's... Oh, wait. Is there still an item? Did we find a big key?
The Brave needs to go grab that powder.
Oh, we skipped this. Okay.
Yeah, I think this was at 20 rupees, or I maybe missed it. Okay, this is just a vanilla big key. So, unfortunate for last locationers, but locationeers. Unless, I guess Swamp is... No, Swamp's going to be mid-swamp.
We can't do Swamp yet. Yep.
So it's not looking like that mirror directly locks anything. And they're going to get Mitts. If they don't pull, I guess, Catfish. But, like, it's... Right now, I'd say most likely they're going to find Mitts and Pyramid Fairy. WindFox needs to do his slashes a little bit quicker there if you're going to do 5-slash turn jump. There we go.
Love that double take. It like takes a second for your brain to process it. Like, oh, wait a minute, I need that. Was the King of Burna in Thievestown? Those are mids.
No, they've had it for a while. So they did get those mids there on Pyramid.
Because Mike doesn't have it yet, so.
Yeah, but they had it for Eastern. I don't know where it was, but we talked about it for Eastern.
Yeah, this is looking pretty rough for them. I don't know when you get that hammer.
Are they
at this point?
Is this go mode? No mode?
It is no mode, yes. Yes,
Okay.
It is, because the mitts now get you the flippers. We've got the mirror. So yeah, as soon as Farm Friends turns in that big bomb.
Yeah, whereas
Having a mitts go mode is pretty nice, I think, in a mode like this. Although you do wonder, like, opponents get that already, and they've been in go mode for a few minutes now, because they're basically last locating that.
Yeah, this is a hard seed to like route well, because there's just like that one-off mirror that you could miss. It seemed like both of our teams set themselves up to not have a really convenient pyramid fairy, as in like no one person was just like had the red crystals.
So Brave, what is Brave doing? Oh, I guess there was some stuff in Paradox. So do you think she's gonna head over and clear Hera probably, and then more than likely,
If she drops down for Spike Cave, that would be big, but this is probably the medallions. Yeah, we're going medallion collecting over on the Brave side. Yeah, makes sense. You go grab all the medallions out of Hera anyway, and then.
So yeah, it's a simple question of does she jump down?
Probably not. I hope for their sake they do, but I don't know if I would.
Well, I would. My personal preference would probably be to do TR and the Super Bunny and Hookshot cave checks.
Yeah. That,
so much density there.
Yeah, that's fair. That would make sense. That's probably what I would do. I wasn't really.
But yeah, Spike Cave is so bad, especially one item from Go, with all these dungeons now open to you.
Yeah, with Mire and Ice and TR full clearable. Flippers are on floating islands, so I guess Ice is not enterable. That's.
So I guess knowing that your flippers are locked by the mirror.
Now, flippers didn't lock anything aside from Swamp and Ice, so like you're not gonna go digging
but you wouldn't
through Ice.
Exactly, yeah. So you know that there's 2 dungeons that you can't clear, or that you can rule out, I guess.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Fortunately for them, I guess, the one silver lining to all of this is that Swamp isn't also a pendant.
Right.
Then you're just like, oh, my mirror's in GT.
Yeah. So, moment of truth coming up. They do have quite a dungeon lead though, and Brave is opting out.
I'll go into going to TR.
You know, yeah. The one thing though is that Spike Cave is still doable after all this stuff, right? You clear TR,
Yep.
you do Super Bunny Hookshot Cave, and then you end there. So they'll be, ideally, they'll just be late to the mirror and not totally forget about it. And if that's the case, like they're actually not in that bad of shape, given that they have a 3 dungeon lead on Fox at the moment.
Yeah, I think Mike's gonna go do Meyer here, which makes sense. And
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
yeah, I think that like they're not obviously not gonna find anything of value, so Brave
Except
is
maybe
probably,
a sword, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean nothing that like
Yeah.
sends them in the wrong path.
Yep.
So Mike will definitely be finished first. And at that point they're not really gonna have that much things that are like they'll have Smith Chain, they'll have I don't know.
Are you
what
doing
else.
Mirrorless Smith Chain before Spike Cave?
Exactly. So like I think that's a pretty
Yeah.
good chance that Brave will overclear
Right.
TR a bit, overclear the mountain a bit, Michael will overclear Meyer a bit, and then they'll get their mirror.
Yeah.
It's just a question of do they have enough of a dungeon lead for that? And how long till Farm Friends go and do Pyramid Fairy? Where is Happy Cat? What was in Mini Molder?
This may have been the Burna, potentially.
I would not. I mean, I don't know if that's just a comfort level, but
No,
be
to
surprised
do
if we're
Spike
going-
Cave.
Oh,
Because
to do
she
Spike
doesn't have enough hearts. Yeah.
We do
could
have
be that.
bottles
I
and
don't know.
an infinite amount of money, but that is probably the case.
Okay, there it is, yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Because they don't have much left.
I guess they're
Wait, she has mitts already. Where did I...
definitely have mitts. They're definitely in go mode,
Oh, yeah.
but we're looking for swords, I guess. But Happy Cat has not done. I guess we're not. We just wanted to despawn the bird. Okay. Fair enough. Happy Cat has not gotten the mirror before coming here, which is kind of a mistake.
Yeah, I definitely would have
not like a
grabbed
not
those
like a big
flippers
deal,
in
but
there. Well, because you have to go to the mountain anyway, because your flippers are there.
yeah.
So you're going to have to climb the mountain a couple times.
Yeah, you gotta go grab your mirror, then go back, grab your flippers, and then come back for TR. You could put TR off, but I actually wouldn't. I'd rather have Tempered Sword for Swamp than for TR. But that's just what order do you do these things in, given that you have to climb the mountain 3 times?
Yeah. I will say, it's not as much of a slam dunk for Brave to do Spike Cave after this. Only because she has done Hookshot and Super Bunny already.
Yeah. It's fortunate that Brave is the one with the burn and not Mike.
Right, exactly.
It's also fortunate for Last Location Years that the big key in Meyer sucks. Like, in their case, you don't want a God Meyer. So, like,
Right.
You're just
Yeah,
hoping
the time he's spending is the other team's gonna have to do it too.
Yeah, some of it. He already got the big key, but it is definitely like, if you're just looking for the big key, you might get it last with a vanilla big key.
Ooh, WindFox almost getting grabbed by that Wallmaster. right, so take stock. We've got WindFox getting now 4th dungeon. We'll be able to get those mitts. So how far behind is he? He's behind a Hera in terms of dungeon count at the moment. But then Brave has got most of TR done. Yeah, I think provided Brave goes to get that mirror right now, they're in the lead for sure.
Yeah, Mike is... Their team is behind a Hera, but also behind a little bit more of Meyer and most of a TR.
Yeah.
But ahead a mirror.
Yeah, right.
Which is not nothing. They also are ahead a Pyramid Fairy grab.
What does Mike have in his bottle, do you know?
He chugged a blue, so probably nothing.
Nothing.
He's got 7 arrows to his name. Just
You think he'll turn on those silvers?
I would hope so.
They don't look like they're on right now.
They certainly are not on.
Oh, we turned them on. Okay.
All right. Well, now we have a nice.
Mike's
half.
arrow management this seat has been interesting.
Yeah, it's
I
definitely
think
not
this is
ideal.
the second time. On Helma, right? He ran out of arrows, I think.
Yeah, he did on Helma. Tabbycat following shortly behind with 15 arrows in the bank. Always got to give one to the wall just to let it know who's the boss. I do it literally every time. You're just standing there and like, hello, can we move on here? Alright, so this is a big moment for last location years. Where does Brave go out of here? Last location years is ahead in total arrow count, with Brave having 30 and Mike having 0.
So okay, Mike should be go moding this, right?
Not mirroring out. Yeah.
Okay. So
hopefully. But Brave should be finding that mirror here anyway. Oh, yeah. Of course.
I'm not running out again. I need arrows this second.
Tabbycat, if you do watch this back, you want to make sure you flute again. After fluting over to ice, you need to reset your spooky altitude. And that's why that first fire rod shot missed.
We're firing arrows into ice palace as well.
Well, we have 35 of them, so. So that's go mode for last location years.
Yep.
Everyone is going to be on Master Sword unless Tempered is on the path. So Mike's probably no longer go moding this dungeon completely. Going to be looking for a sword. You'll still skip, Iced Tea, but...
Is WindFox looking for a sword?
Maybe. I don't hate it. What about flippers? Flippers are about to show up for WindFox.
Yeah, WindFox still needs to do Hera because of the medallions.
Right. Turns out that Ether was the one we didn't need. Go to Hera for it. big fan of like going back for this chest. Like you're here for a sword. You're just trying to pull spike a nice lucky sword. You don't want to be spending extra time doing junk. So when all the dust settles, Mike
Basically
and
a TR
tabbycat are
difference?
basically the exact same. Mike is like a very slight amount ahead in ice. Brave and WindFox are items-wise the same, but ahead a Hera and a TR.
Yep.
So, yeah. And I guess some of that was execution, some of that was just that Farm Friends basically, did all the mirror checks.
Yeah, mirror checks and front of escape.
Oh, and front of escape, yeah. It's a lot of time.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would be, but when you think about it, it's like getting all the way to Zelda Cell does take a couple minutes.
Oh no, Tabby. We don't have a fairy, do we?
No, I don't think so.
That's unfortunate. The Brave did a nice specky clip there. I've seen some people screw it up, and like the one way you screw that setup up is by not starting at the railing and backing up continuously.
I did that yesterday.
This game is weird, and you get sub-pixeled or something. So it's super consistent as long as you know just to hold the back button. You can't let go. You hold your sword out. If you don't have a sword, you hold your fist out and you back up.
Yeah, I screwed up the first try of that because I guess I didn't go all the way to the railing to start. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's like, you have a movement pattern, like a pixel movement pattern when holding your sword out. I believe it's 1, 1, 1, 2. But whatever it is, it means you'll get in the right position.
Right.
And if you mess around with it, you won't. There's like a 45-second window of time when you can start holding back and still get hit by that bomb correctly. But if you stutter step, it'll look like you're in the right position, your hook shot will clink, and you'll be like, well, that's cool. I hate this trick. I don't think it'll make the difference, but it is worth pointing out that last locationeers don't have a half magic and don't have a cape, so like their Ganon fight is gonna be unfun.
Yeah, at least we got silvers.
Yeah, Mike doesn't even have his lamp, so, and he's probably never getting it. Nice specky clip from WindFox too. I'm not creative enough to find a clip. That's someone else's job.
I agree there.
I only press buttons. Don't bother me. Alright, Tabby Cat cleaning up ice.
Yeah, that fight going much better this time around. What do we have left? We've got so Brave's
Mike.
doing Desert and Mire together.
Yeah. Mike probably just skips Desert. Well,
Yeah, save that for the end, right? You just mirror
so it's,
from the.
I think it's faster if he does Desert now, but you want to make sure that you're getting to GT as separated as possible. That way the second person doesn't need to do checks in GT.
Yeah.
So what's their, like, how much time do they have left? Brave has Mire and Ice, and Mike has TR and the rest of Swamp. So yeah, I think he needs to skip Desert to keep their team separated.
I guess the only hesitation I would have on that argument is just his health situation, or not health, but like the resources for Ganon.
Yeah.
You save and quit from Desert, you're starting with just a few hearts and you don't have any safeties and you got Master Sword. Like, that doesn't feel good. But
that's
yeah,
true.
I see the argument the other way around too.
No, I mean that's a good point. If they had a sword, I would say that, you know, man up.
Yeah, it's a different
do what needs to be done. Like,
yeah.
But that's a totally different world. Granted, he does have red mail.
I'm assuming Mike seems like the type of person who would know some Arya strats.
He does.
Okay. So the fight sucks, but
yeah,
it's not going to be a forever fight.
But we are on slow realm, so slow realm Samaria is very painful once you've learned that fast realm Samaria exists. Mire 2 going a little bit sideways for WindFox, but all good. So Mike is gonna do all of his dungeons before and then just finish with Castle Tower.
Yeah, I personally feel like I'd probably make the same play.
Which I guess means that Brave is probably going to be ahead into GT by maybe like
a couple minutes.
A little less, I think.
Brave already has all of TR done.
Yeah, it's a TR versus an Ice Pal. Okay, that is a blessing.
That feels good. Yeah.
All right, now he cannot do Desert.
He's gonna leave. Yeah, let's go.
Unfortunate. I don't know how I feel about Tabbycat doing TR here. Fine. I just probably would have. I guess no. I'm good with this. Never mind. You don't really want to. You'd rather have find a sword out of here than having to do swamp because you cannot go mode TR.
Yeah.
Like, or your go mode TR is like still opening half the chest in the dungeon at the very least.
Yeah, and she's doing, she's gonna do this into the flippers.
Right.
Which is totally fine, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a question of grabbing the flippers and leaving, and then going and doing TR just before GT, or doing it when you're grabbing the flippers. I think because like Mike left it, but I think that made sense only because Brave already knew that it was purely junk in here. Or on tabbycat's side, they don't know. The farm friends don't know yet if there's a nice sword in here or not.
Right. Well, and they get to figure out the key layout.
Yeah.
Knowing that they're go moding, it's not like it's a huge deal anyway, but at least she can just relay it to WindFox and not have to worry about it.
Lead's really been separating. Surprising.
Well, Tabbycat did die to Cold Stare. I think if not for that, it'd be a bit closer.
Yeah, I mean that's
sure.
that's a full on ice, so that's like
yeah. Well, and having to go to the potion shop to refill and.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose she could have done a different dungeon to get the refill, but it's hard to think in the moment after you just died to Cold Stare.
Yeah.
What to do next?
I don't know what other dungeon we could have done. We didn't have.
You could have gone to. You could have done the swamp stuff.
Well, we didn't have the flippers yet.
Well, to go get it, you have to go to the mountain to get it anyway.
Yeah, but I don't think she had opened up TR. So that's a disaster. Like having to go into Super Bunny to get your magic.
Well, you don't have to open it at that point. There was no reason. You don't have to clear TR, right? You could have just saved it for the end anyway.
Yeah. Sure.
It's
fair.
Like I said, it's hard to process all that stuff in the moment.
Yeah. No, I think the decision to just go hit the potion shop was fine.
Yeah.
But I think it's an interesting discussion to think about what other options were there.
I sure hope she has more potion. Okay,
yes.
We do.
I
was holding my breath a little bit.
I started clenching my teeth the moment that fire rod shot whiffed.
Yeah. But we are good.
I'm not even sure she could have. I actually don't think she had gotten her mirror yet. Which would need a magic bar to do. So maybe going back to ice was the only option. Or, getting a magic refill and then going to desert, or going to get your mirror.
Brave with the much more fun Cold Stare tempered sword.
What if you enjoy the other one more? Who
the
you
Master
just say
Sword one?
More fun? Yeah, who you just say which one's more fun?
I think you'd be pretty crazy to not want at least tempered sword. Yeah, I don't even run NMG. Okay,
least
and I
Tempered
prefer
Sword.
Tempered Sword. Yeah. Master Sword Cold Stare is... I don't know. I feel like I make everyone's eyes bleed watching me do that.
You just bombos, and then you shoot your fire rod.
Well, listen, I'm talking about Master Sword Cold Stare, not, using cheating tactics with fire rods and stuff.
Oh, okay. I was watching
She
low
ran out of
percent.
magic. She had to swipe her sword several times.
I was watching low percent strats. You do beam dupes, and then you hit it once with the hammer, or give it a spin, then hit it once with the hammer, then 3 fire rod shots. Easy. Do that.
It does sound very easy, yes.
Ideally, you just don't have to play the game at all, and then you could just talk about it, and it's really easy to do that.
That's why I'm here today. So I could talk about all these NMG strats I don't know and critique everyone for not using them. All right, Brave gonna be the first one to GT.
The last location years are gonna show up to GT pretty.
I think you just make Brave DM here, and then, like, if you gotta go left, then you're just both going left together.
Yeah.
Personally, what I feel like is best in this situation.
Yeah, it's just a little unfortunate when everyone shows up at the same time, because like Brave's
You
gonna
want
go
at least
left,
like 90-second
Mike's,
gap if possible.
Mike's gonna go right, and if like the big key is not in DM room here, Brave's probably continuing left, and if it's we're gonna get our big key on like our 12th or 14th chest opened in GT, even though a normal route would have had us getting it on like 8 or 9. So they're actually swapping off here. Brave's gonna do compass, and Mike's just gonna go full left and skip Dalfos room. Brave has 2 keys. I think that we don't need this. No, maybe we do need this key potentially.
It's too bad that Mike isn't just a little bit further along, right?
Yeah.
Because now you're you're potentially like bonking off of this, the magic and arrow pots, and then oh wait, I gotta turn around. But looks like she made the right play, so they're gonna converge here.
Yeah, definitely, sort of. There's some concerns here. So Mike has 0 keys.
That's tower room then. If there's one back here.
So, what does Mike do now? He has to go to DM room to get a key, or he continues on to try and find a key here. But probably just.
I think DM room is the way to go.
Yeah, there's a key there. There might be a key here.
Yeah, wasting the time to beat Armos for a key that might not be there.
Yeah, this is sort of the unfortunate result of arriving at GT at the same time. I don't think that they routed this correctly, given the key layouts, but like it's a mess to try and do it correctly. So
Could there have been a key in the big chest?
yeah, there can be a
There
can be a key on the big chest or a key on the climb.
This is a couple of screen transitions anyway to go check the big chest, so just I guess go to DM room and call it a day.
Yeah, I think that. I think you don't bother at that point.
Yeah. So Brave holds her lead. She'll get to hold this over Mike for... I don't know who's racing tomorrow, but maybe she'll be able to hold it over his head for a while.
Yeah, I think it's them both days, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
How important is it that you're the first one to cross the finish line?
Oh, insanely important. Want to beat my teammate? It's just like F1, you know, there's like 10 teams with 2 drivers each or something, and you got to win. You're here to win. I want to beat my teammate both in collection rate and in time. You don't feel this way?
I'm a team player.
I just assumed you'd want to beat Hitsu 10 times out of 10.
Well, I mean, that's free, but...
You don't even need to worry about that, I see.
I'm happy to say that I've done, I think now, 7 or 8 of these co-op ADs. I've never been beaten by my teammate.
Exactly.
This season.
This is why you feel this way. I think the first loss you get, you're not going to want to feel that again. I can't believe I lost to Hitsu or GDW.
Yeah, that would be a tragedy.
I'll see you're coming around.
Fortunately, my team is just all washed, retired players, so...
No, that's another team we have in the league, actually.
Oh, that's true.
There's an actual wash team.
There's an
they call themselves. We are blazing through this GT.
All right. What do you think? Do you think Mike tries to hover Moldorm?
In a race setting? I don't know. I guess how confident is he in it? He did see the mitts in Spec Rock and decide to go outside through multiple screen transitions to go get it. So I would say no. Just not feeling it today, maybe. All right.
Well, that didn't seem like the plan.
Okay, and then he traps it on a peg where he could have easily, you know, done that whole fairy thing again.
I also
like,
don't
no,
know why
I'm
we're trying
out.
to catch a fairy with like 9 hearts, red mail, tempered sword, silvers.
Listen, Ganon's hard. Sometimes.
Is he just still in Master Sword brain?
Maybe.
I've definitely had that before, where you just get stuck in like, especially if like you have low resources at the start of the seed, you're like scrounging for bombs for a while.
Yep.
And then halfway into the seed, you have, you know, you're sitting on 10 bombs, and every time one drops, oh man, gotta get that.
You're grabbing it, yeah. Yep. I know what you're talking about. I mean, it's entirely possible what you're saying. You know, he was on Master Sword for a very long time, figured he was going to have a bit of a rough Ganon fight, and just thought ahead around, all right, I need to make sure I get a fairy. Oh, hey, look, a tempered sword, but I got to get that fairy, and...
Yeah.
And WindFox done with their final dungeon, so I'm going to join tabbycat here in GT pretty shortly. So they're far enough apart to where I feel like they'll just both be traversing the left side at the same time.
Yeah, I would assume so. And I think tabbycat does need this key, because we've only gotten 2 so far. but
We're still going.
Tabbycat's going full right.
Like sucking DM routers.
Yeah, they're gonna have a similar issue then because WindFox is gonna open up map chest here and have that same key issue.
She may have it before that happens.
No, because WindFox probably is skipping. Okay, Tabbycat.
Oh,
will
DM
find
room,
it.
yeah. It's gonna be pretty
Tabbycat
close.
We'll find it before.
Oh, never mind. Oh, so close.
What a tragedy.
So close.
So now WindFox is going to be missing a key and have to go back for DM room key. These comms are terrible. I don't disagree, but yeah, I don't have a follow-up.
I mean, Telethar was talking about how undefeated he is with you guys on his team against you, always finishing ahead of his teammates.
Yeah, that's definitely the truth. You can ask GGW.
Feels good, man.
Crushed him in like 7 of these runs.
Crushed him with an iron fist, right?
Yeah, one of them was by 3 seconds. Pretty good.
Say 3 seconds or 3 minutes, it doesn't matter. A win is a win. Wait, you can hook speed in the pre-cutscene room of Edga? I've never seen that.
Can.
Is it faster?
Of course. Why wouldn't it be?
Well, you got to walk up, turn around. Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
It's faster
yeah, I've never seen that.
And a half-second wind up of your feet.
Yeah.
Little sonic charge that Link does every time he dashes.
Okay, things I learned.
Yeah, you can do it in... You can also do the same thing in Dark Cross, but that one is significantly harder to be useful with.
It's further, but you get more out of it.
Well, but there's snakes. This is the problem.
But if you have a hook, you're just hooking the snakes.
Yeah, but if you're dashing with a sword, you're running through the snakes.
I don't know. I feel like this is something I need you to time.
Okay.
Just add it to the list, right?
Yeah, there's definitely a list that I will be adding it to. You can count on that.
At some point, I need you to start cutting the list down, though.
I have like... My friends will recommend shows to me, and I'll just tell them, oh yeah, that sounds interesting, I'll add it to the list. That list doesn't actually exist, and we all know it.
Yeah. All right. Brave soundly defeating her teammate.
Yeah. Get your G's in chat.
All right, Scottish Brave finishing first overall with an official race time of 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 55 seconds. Get your GGs in chat. And looks like Mike will be right behind. Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was scary. Here we go.
And your G's. Not too far behind from WindFox and Tabbycat. They've still got a castle tower that they will need to do. We'll see if they choose to continue.
And Mike with a 119.36. GG. finally we get a Triforce screen that's like nice, not offensive about bad seeds and making me feel worse about what I did.
I think the worst ones is like when you get there and it's like you won, and it's like I didn't win.
Right.
What
are you talking about?
But not to my teammate. I never lose to my teammate.
Right, never fourth, at least.
That's what really matters.
Yeah, that's for GGW.
You're joined by someone's.
Everyone's. All right.
But you are
everyone.
still playing. I'm so confused. GG's to you all.
GG's.
So, thoughts on the seed?
Welcome to League.
So is this your first invitational seed?
For
Farm
Wind and
Friends?
I, yes. Yeah, it's our first invitational.
Nice. You played pretty well. The big differentiators in this seed start in sort of the mid game was Farm Friends did escape, and Farm Friends had found the mirror and did all the mirror checks before eventually getting your mitts for go mode. Whereas Last Locationeers they had mitts, and so they went and did some dungeons, but kind of didn't do anything that wasn't just like the good mitts checks, as in the dungeons that you needed to be in anyway.
It's kind of fortunate to be mirror go mode. The way it turned out. I never got a Kano Birna, so Spike K was never even on my mind until we were going over what was left in the seed after Brave finished TR. It's like, oh yeah, Spike Cave. You do that. You have Birna.
Yeah, we were.
I got a bottle that is maybe filled with something.
We were remarking how you guys are probably fortunate that Brave was the one who did TR, because if you're the one who does TR, you potentially just leave Spike Cave and unsure when you get back to it.
Yeah, like the worst case scenario, we would have done Smith Chain without mirror, I guess.
Yeah.
That was left.
Yeah, well, we were talking about it because Mike had went up the mountain and got all 3 medallions, so there didn't see much point for me to go to Mire to not be able to get in regardless. Whereas the mountain, I needed to do Hera anyway, get all 3 medallions, then I could do TR after.
Yeah, and both teams sort of had that awkwardness where the person who did Eastern was not the person who did Pod, which meant that the person who did Pod had the Fire Rod for Pyramid Fairy. You sort of had to decide to just go back and do cleanup pretty early. In one way or another in order to actually get Pyramid Fairy mitts.
Yeah, no, we worked out pretty nicely, I thought, for us that Bray could just rush Moth and leave to do Pyramid Fairy while I exited through the front to do Thieves Down.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was nothing in the front, and it wasn't. So it was a pretty obvious check to do from our perspective with no mirror. Like, what else is left? Nothing. It has to be Pyramid Fairy, Catfish, something. So it was pretty nice. But I was pretty scared about the lamp, honestly. Especially in Mire.
So, Farm Friends, what are your thoughts? What you guys are playing? Is it the same two playing next?
No, it's me and Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna are tomorrow.
Okay.
And I mean, we were pretty happy with Mitt's go mode. We were like, oh, that's it. And we didn't. We were very happy finding the mirror as early as we did, and I was like, oh, well, all we need is this, and didn't realize that was going to. We're like, wait, that's a thing. When we're hearing like what you guys did, it's like, oh, so what we really thought that it was a big old boon finding the mirror that early, and it's ended up not being, because there was really nothing there.
I think
Yeah,
in
Beer
in
didn't lock
most
anything, and you kind of just got funneled into getting it anyway, like because the mirror also locked, like the flippers were locked by mirror and mid, so it just was hard to really
Yeah.
make use of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say the last location yours had a benefit from knowing where the flippers were being locked by that go mode mirror. So you immediately get to rule out a couple of dungeons, and at the end of the day, it just comes down to it's like TR and Meyer. So you could just kind of take care of those dungeons, then you really only have a couple things left. So if flippers aren't there and they find them somewhere else, then they're full clearing swamp and ice more than likely versus Spike Cave, and it's a different story potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we got boots. Like, why are we not talking about boots existing? That was great.
Well, they were just the entire seed.
Oh, yeah, we found boots like sub-minute.
Yeah, we went to
Sub-minute. Like how?
Yeah.
What? Explain
just-
yourself.
So what we did is that we both start Kakariko. Tabby goes to Kak and I Houlihan for rupees, and I do the uncle stuff, immediately save and quit, and went straight to South Shore.
I wasn't even to CAC yet when he found the boots, and I'd found the mirror because I had no bombs, and so I was like, or I had found the hammer, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna just go to CAC with boots. I mean, come on, I'm not gonna go back up through all this stuff, and I could go do other things with that. So like we both had boots like sub
Within
2
4
minutes.
minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. Yeah, yeah, we had the boots insanely early. I was just like, well, I'm gonna take these boots and head over to Agena Cave because I don't have enough bombs to really do mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah.
I think
Nice.
Nick was heading up the mountain when I was like, "Oh, boots are in there," and he was like, "Cool, I'm coming to get them like right now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was on I went up the mountain with the flute, and went over to, I think it was Eastern, and so it was like we have like this allergy to being in the same area as each other at the same time, though, so we kind of just like make sure we're like as far away from each other as possible. Cats and foxes, we don't like each other.
That is true. That is true.
But we just kind of like we were thinking that initially we thought that you guys had like taken that, maybe whoever got the Cane of Berna went up the mountain and had the moon pearl, and so you got the mirror like even earlier than we did or something, and we're like, well, okay.
It's crazy you didn't lock anything at all. With
Yeah, that's one of
the way
those
the mirror
items
was
you think
there.
getting early. Yeah, you think
Well, it
getting
locked
that early, you're
mirror.
like, oh yes.
It locked the flippers, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, but apart from that, like you would think the mirror being it's such a huge item, you're like, yes. I would have felt good about getting that early, like. But that was it was that was just I came out of Turtle Rock. That was the best time for me to do it, and like say I was the one who had the burner, so it was like like we're never gonna do this if I don't do it now, so let me just do it now. Like our other options were we did the front of Escape, but I think if I remember right, there was a key and a mirror in there. Sorry, a key and a map in there.
And escape
Mirrorless
doesn't
with Jane.
exist. Like, no.
Yeah, and it doesn't exist to Mike anyway, so it was already dead. And then
Mhm.
was it Mirrorless Smith and
Sora.
we did have Zora. Like that was a conversation we had. Like, should I I got the boots? I was like, should I water walk? And Mike was like, nah, you don't have Zora money, don't do it. And then technically flippers ended up being our go mode, so yeah, we skipped like all the flippers chips, got to go mode.
Oh, felt so good. So good.
Mike nearly cried when I told him he had to do Eastern Big Key chest though.
I did. I had to take a deep breath and be like, well, we're doing it. So.
Yeah, with the early boots we got, I was able to do all the water walk stuff. Found half magic on Hobo.
Oh, that would have been lovely.
That's what it was. Oh, we were both like Master Sword for all of it, and Mike went into ice and he said like I checked like one chest, it wasn't there, and I went into swamp, I was like there's 2 chests that I'm willing to spend time on, wasn't there. It's like, oh god, like another sword would just be so nice. And then Mike went to desert and he's like there's 1 on the torch, like oh my god, thank you so much.
Yeah, that's where I was. Was like, okay, I did almost the whole thing with Master Sword, and then Wind found the sword on Desert Torch, and I'm like, well, that saves you like a solid 2 minutes on all the dungeons that I've already done.
Yeah, let me quick kill every boss in the game for the rest of Seed.
So it was a thing.
Yeah, it's so nice though. It's cool if you're comfortable doing like Master Sword Silver Ganon. It's cool, but nobody wants to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, getting that tempered feel, it always feels good.
I got a question for Telethar. Would you have gotten the lamp in my position after
No.
face down?
No.
Yeah. All I knew was that there was many digs, so I was like, no.
I wouldn't have gotten it if it was 1 dig.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not even 1 dig? I probably would have gotten it with 1 dig.
I mean, I wouldn't have known. I just would have said I don't need lamp and moved on with life.
Is that right, Moogle? Would you not tell your teammates about lamp?
I would tell my teammates about lamp. I see why Telethar would say no, being a league champion.
If you didn't have silvers, then I would have.
Like.
If you didn't have silvers, then I would have gotten lamp regardless of digs. If it makes you feel better.
Can't believe I got all this lamp disrespect. Like
I did force Brave to do Easton with no fire source against her will. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I nearly died in there. I had to whip out that burner, like I was nearly dead. I panicked. The other it's an Igor, right? One-eyed dude. He was on me, and I saw him, and I was like, you touched me. I was like, I'm gonna die. So panic, whip out the burner.
All right. Well, probably wrap up unless there's further thoughts you guys want to add.
Good luck tomorrow to all of you who will play tomorrow. I will not play tomorrow.
Neither will I.
Yeah. Good first week. I'm so excited.
But well, thank you all for doing the restream. I know it was like pretty short notice, so thank you all for hopping on for comms, and Nochi and Pix for doing the tracking as well, and Art for restreaming it.
We definitely appreciate the restream on there, and looks like the Nochi and Pix for the tracking, and Telethar and Moogle for comms.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for joining me, Moogle.
Yeah.
Thanks for the show. For the trackers doing the back end work, restreamer. But we are wrapping up here. I don't know. I guarantee there's more stuff, more invitational league, more open league to be watched. If you want to go watch, I have no idea where that is.
There is more. I did pull up the schedule. We have a race. Looks like in about 3 hours, I think, if my math is correct. On Speed Gaming 2. It's an open league race between Krista Roller Crew and Midna's Malevolence. So that'll be oh, there we go. You can see here on the screen. Yeah, so a little over 3 hours from now. But that'll be a good match to watch. Hopefully we'll see everyone in chat later checking that one out. Yeah, thanks everyone. Have a good rest of your day.